In the top stories, Prime Minister visits Tabasco operations to boost agricultural ties. CTO strengthens European presence with new UK and EU partnership. And 11 workers at Tennessee factory were swept away in Hurricane Helen flooding. Only 5 were rescued. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. I'm Scotty Sia Hendrickson. Nationally, in an effort to enhance agricultural collaboration and explore innovative agro-business opportunities, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew toured the McKinley Company's manufacturing and agricultural operations, the home of the world-famous Tabasco brand, on October 1st, 2024. The visit aligns with St. Kitts and Nevis's ongoing initiative to strengthen its agriculture sector through international partnerships and sustainable food production. Prime Minister Dr. Drew's tour of Avery Island follows a previous visit in 2023 by a delegation from the Ministry of Agriculture, led by Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Samuel Duggins. The visit focused on the advanced techniques in pepper cultivation, DNA crop research, and the pepper mash aging process, key areas for St. Kitts and Nevis as it seeks to modernize and diversify its agricultural practices. During his tour, Dr. Drew received an extensive overview of the Tabasco brand's iconic production processes, including a walkthrough of the pepper mash warehouse and manufacturing plant. He engaged in a mash tasting, sampling pepper products at various stages of aging, and discussed advancement in crop management and food processing with McKinley's Agriculture Division. Key discussions took place between Dr. Drew, McKinley's President and CEO, Harold Osborne III, and Special Envoy for Investment, Development, and International Business Relations, Her Excellency Hadia Claxton. The focus was on potential collaborative projects aimed at harnessing sustainable agricultural technologies in St. Kitts and Nevis. Prime Minister Dr. Drew stated that his visit underscored the nation's commitment to fostering innovation within its agricultural sector and highlighted the significance of international partnerships in achieving food security and global resilience amid global challenges. The Citizenship by Investment Unit, or CIU, in St. Kitts and Nevis has officially transitioned into a statutory corporation guided by 6 key principles and 3 core pillars to ensure transparency, communication, good governance, and sustainability. During the launch event, CIU Chairman His Excellency Calvin St. Just expressed pride in the swift transformation of the unit, which typically takes years to complete. This is a significant milestone for us, he said, highlighting the team's dedication to achieving this change quickly. The 6 guiding principles for the CIU's operations include transparency, communication, good governance, transformation, global leadership, and sustainability. Chairman St. Just also unveiled the unit's 3 core pillars: efficiency, quality service, and collaboration. The chairman emphasized the CIU's commitment to excellence and innovation following the unit's top ranking in the 2024 CBI Index. He urged staff to adopt a startup mindset focused on high performance, agility, and integrity as the unit continues to lead the global citizenship by investment industry. Strategies to advance digital transformation in the Caribbean are being explored during the Caribbean Telecommunications Union CTU ICT Week, held from September 30th to October 4th in St. Kitts and Nevis. The event brings together regional delegates to discuss key issues impacting the region's digital development. At a press conference on Monday, the Honorable Hassal Bacchus, president of the CTU, highlighted the importance of inclusive digital transformation, emphasizing that while efforts are often focused on youth, older generations must also be considered. He urged the region's youth to take an active role in helping older populations adapt to new technologies. quote, "We often worry about how older people will adapt to technology, but young people are the bridge to help them. Children and grandchildren are who the elderly turn to as they age, and they have a responsibility to guide them through this transition," end quote. Honorable Bacchus, who also serves as Minister of Digital Transformation in Trinidad and Tobago, stressed the opportunities available for young people to gain exposure and certification in ICT fields. He noted that this would allow the region's youth to remain competitive globally while contributing to the Caribbean's growth and sustainable development. Additionally, he called for a mindset shift away from self-interest, encouraging young people to help ensure that older generations are not left behind in the digital age. He said, "Our actions impact one another, and it's important for the youth to take responsibility in guiding the elderly through the changes we are implemented," Bacchus said. In regional news, the Caribbean Tourism Organization, or CTO, has announced a major initiative to boost the region's visibility in Europe through a renewed partnership with the CTO chapter in the UK and Europe, which represents over 85 travel-related companies and organizations. Donna Regis Prosper, Secretary General and CEO of the CTO, revealed a strategic plan to enhance the Caribbean's brand across the UK, Europe, and emerging markets in the Middle East and Africa. The partnership aims to increase engagement with key audiences and improve the region's market presence. Colin Pegler, chairman of the CTO chapter, welcomed the renewed collaboration after a 4-year break. Quote, "This partnership is crucial to enhancing the Caribbean's presence in Europe. Our board is committed to a robust action plan for 2025 that keeps the region top of the mind for global travelers," end quote. The partnership will feature impactful marketing campaigns and activations engaging consumers, travel professionals, and the media to reinforce the Caribbean as a leading global destination. Florian Valmy Delivers, director of the CEO chapter, emphasized the unified strategy behind the initiative. Quote, "Our goal is to create synergy with a cohesive approach across the UK, Europe, and emerging markets. We are dedicated to reviving the One Sea, One Voice, One Caribbean spirit through high-impact campaigns." In other regional news, President Shadrach Prasad Santokhi says elections in the Dutch-speaking Caribbean community, or CARICOM country, will be held on Sunday, May 25th next year. Santokhi said during his 2-hour address to the National Assembly late Tuesday, quote, "Ahead of us lies an important year in which we prepare for the general, free and sacred elections. The elections will be held on Sunday, May 25th, 2025. This will be a historic moment for Suriname in which you, the people, will go to the polls under a renewed and fairer electoral system," end quote. He also outlined the policies to be pursued by his coalition government in the coming months. Santokhi told legislators that the organization of the election is a national responsibility and that preparations for this have already been started. The elections will be the first under a new electoral system from the district system to a national electoral system. Under the old district system, seats were distributed based on the population of each district. Electoral officials said that by switching to national proportional, the votes of all citizens are treated equally through the country regardless of where they live. In international news, as Hurricane Helen unleashed heavy rains, workers at a plastic factory in the small town of Irwin, Tennessee, continued their shifts despite worsening conditions. It wasn't until floodwaters inundated the parking lot and a power outage hit the plant, was shut down, and workers were sent home. By then, the situation had become life-threatening. 11 workers were swept away by the raging waters. Only 5 were rescued. 2 have been confirmed dead, and 4 remain missing, adding to a death toll of that exceeds 150 across several states. Some workers managed to escape the factory in their vehicles, but others were caught in clogged roads where the floodwaters rose quickly, sweeping their cars away. Videos captured the devastation as the adjacent Nonchuckly River flooded nearby highways and threatened the factory. Jacob Ingram, a factory worker, filmed himself and 4 others stranded, waiting for rescue as vehicles floated by. He later shared videos of their helicopter evacuation on social media, expressing his gratitude for surviving. Ingram and other workers have criticized the factory's response, claiming they were told to stay despite flash flood warnings and visible flooding in the parking lot. Ingram argued that the evacuation came too late, saying, We asked if we should leave, but they said it wasn't bad enough yet." End quote. Another worker, Robert Jarvis, narrowly escaped after being rescued by a passerby in an off-road vehicle. Impact Plastic released a statement expressing devastation over the loss of employees and extended thoughts and prayers to the families of the missing and deceased. However, survivors believe the company could have acted sooner to prevent the tragedy. Switching gears to politics, the Biden administration is emphasizing a distinction between Israel's military actions against Iranian-backed militant groups Hamas and Hezbollah and Iran's missile attacks on Israel, which the U.S. condemned as escalatory. During a press conference, officials defended Israel's recent strikes on Hezbollah leader while advocating for peace after Iran launched about 200 ballistic missiles at Israel. President Biden affirmed the U.S. support for Israel, stating, quote, "Make no mistake, the United States is fully supportive of Israel," end quote. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken called Iran's missile attack, quote, "totally unacceptable," urging the global condemnation. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan noted that Iran's missile assault represents a significant escalation. Just a week after calling for an immediate ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah, the administration has adjusted its stance as Israel conducts ground incursion in Lebanon following an airstrike that killed Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, an Iranian general. U.S. officials assert that the support for Israel's right to self-defense remains unchanged, despite previous criticisms of Israel's actions in Gaza. The Pentagon reiterated support for Israel's right to defend itself against Hezbollah, with discussions focusing on avoiding escalation while addressing threats to Israeli citizens. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller justified Israel's actions against Hamas and Hezbollah leaders as self-defense, contrasting them with Iran's retaliation aimed at supporting terrorist organizations. However, the U.S. administration's strong defense of Israel poses risk as Prime Minister Netanyahu appears less responsive to U.S. calls for restraint. Analysis warned that a lack of diplomatic progress could weaken U.S. influence in the region and embolden Israel to take greater risk. And now for the weather. Present weather is partly cloudy skies. Winds are at the northeast at 3 to 10 miles per hour. The temperature today is at 31 degrees Celsius or 87 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are 1 to 1.5 meters or 3 to 5 feet. The weather forecast for today predicts partly cloudy with a 30% or low chance of showers. Tonight is fair to partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of showers. Sunset today will be at 5:59 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:01 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Scotty Hendrickson.